This very much is Lily's story, and Lily's a person who leads with empathy, and in that she wants to understand why everybody is the way that they are, but that doesn't excuse anyone's behavior, and I think that once that's clear, that really you can have two things can be true. You can have empathy, but that
I have the mind. You'll see the time.
Yeah,
it does.
What, does that matter?
I actually need the taller chair because I have a short torso. That's true. I actually have I'm 6'2", but
oh my God, I'm so bored right now.
It's just a little thing. I've had to deal with this my whole life.
And you have millions of readers, and every person sees something a little bit different. So the fact that it was so overwhelmingly positive just really warmed my heart.
honestly, I didn't have any hesitations. To me, it was a no-brainer. Colleen just laid out such a beautiful and clear roadmap for Lily's journey. I completely understood why she made the decisions that she made. And it was really important to me to be able to bring to life a character who was both strong and vulnerable, who was both passionate and passive, who was masculine and...
Q always says is, hurting children is just unnecessarily frowned upon. So yeah, him in a full contact Quidditch match, just crushing.
It was someone said something about the spacing. I still really don't know how social media works. So if someone tells me how to fix spacing on something,
you just take me with you and
that's
and just
great.
Yeah, you guys can be hanging out.
Can we fold it?
Watch your hand first of all. Be careful with it. Oh, hey!
People think that they know you. I think because of how intrusive media is these days. There's people care so much more about your personal life than they do your work. And if you aren't open with your personal life, then they just make it up for you and share it for you. Honestly, the trailer, it was put in trailer first, and we worked really hard on that trailer, and it was just so powerful. And it was never something, this it's a movie you should see in theaters. You don't see movies like this anymore, where you get to see movie stars being born. I mean, this is Isabella's first movie. Everybody on the screen just pops, and and to have a story that's from a book that's such a big IP that hasn't been done, that hasn't been on screen before. It's such a special event and such a
especially now. And I am trying to take this conversation of masculinity out of politics, and I think that's the only way forward, honestly. So all that to say, very grateful, and I've had the chance to listen and to watch you speak.
Well, I first optioned this book in 2019, and at the time it had sold just under 1 million copies. And
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, once celebrated as Hollywood's golden couple, now find their careers on the brink of collapse. The trigger? A staggering $400 million lawsuit filed by Justin Baldoni, spearheaded by powerhouse attorney Brian Fredman. Known for dismantling opponents with ruthless precision, Fredman has made Blake and Ryan his latest targets, and the fallout has been nothing short of catastrophic. What began as harassment allegations against Baldoni has spiraled into a full-scale legal nightmare. Blake and Ryan's reputations are unraveling, their brands are hemorrhaging value, and whispers in the industry suggest even Marvel is reconsidering its ties to Ryan. The question on everyone's mind: how did it all unravel so fast? And could this mark the end of Hollywood's most admired couple? The storm began during the press tour for Blake's summer release It Ends With Us. In a stunning revelation, she accused Baldoni of fostering a hostile work environment and orchestrating a smear campaign against her. The claims sent shockwaves through Hollywood. Fans rallied to her defense, framing her as a victim of workplace misconduct and applauding her for speaking out. But Baldoni was not backing down. He denied the allegations outright, calling them a calculated ploy designed to destroy his reputation. The fallout was swift. Blake's accusations triggered counter-lawsuits from Baldoni, who charged her with defamation and interference in his career. Suddenly, Ryan Reynolds, initially an outsider to the dispute, was dragged into the fray. Fredman's strategy was clear and uncompromising: target the couple as a unit. Their business ventures, PR tactics, and combined brand power became ammunition in an aggressive legal offensive. Insiders leaked that major studios were already rattled, with some reconsidering ongoing projects tied to the couple. The media frenzy only heightened the stakes. Headlines shifted from entertainment chatter to corporate liability, while social media debates erupted over ethics, credibility, and the fate of Hollywood's elite power players. Fredman's strategy was merciless. Target Blake and Ryan as a unit, scrutinize their business dealings, tear apart their public statements, and weaponize the influence of their combined brand power. Almost immediately, leaks suggested studios were nervous. Insiders whispered that contracts were being reconsidered and projects quietly put on hold. The media frenzy only amplified the tension. Headlines moved beyond entertainment gossip and shifted into corporate analysis, with outlets openly questioning brand liability and the risks of being tied to the couple. Social media erupted in heated debates over credibility, legal ethics, and the ripple effects for Hollywood's other power duos. For years, Blake's PR mastery had been considered untouchable, but under the weight of simultaneous lawsuits, viral speculation, and relentless studio scrutiny, her strategy began to collapse. Endorsements stalled, marketing campaigns crumbled, and the couple's once flawless image was dissected with surgical precision. What started as a single harassment claim had mutated into a multi-layered crisis, one that threatened to redefine their standing in Hollywood for years to come. And then, things got worse. The chaos intensified the moment Brian Fredman fully entered the picture. His arrival shifted the dynamics overnight. Baldoni's legal team had no intention of letting him fall quietly, and Fredman's presence signaled a no-holds-barred offensive. Fredman is no ordinary Hollywood lawyer. He is infamous for his ruthless precision and no-nonsense approach to high-stakes cases. When he takes on a client, it isn't simply about defense, it's about total annihilation of the opposition. Sources close to the case claim he told Baldoni to sit back and watch as he dismantled the narrative brick by brick. From that moment on, the playing field was transformed, and Blake and Ryan found themselves staring down an adversary unlike any they had faced before. Counter lawsuits came crashing in like a tidal wave. Fredman went after everyone even remotely tied to damaging Baldoni's reputation. Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, their PR team, and even heavyweight outlets like the New York Times. His approach was methodical, merciless, and designed to send a message. Attacking his client comes at a cost. The escalation reached its climax when Fredman filed a staggering $400 million lawsuit against Blake and Ryan. The accusations were brutal: defamation, extortion, and a deliberate campaign to destroy Baldoni's career with false claims. But this lawsuit wasn't just about clearing Baldoni's name. It was a statement of intent. Fredman wanted Hollywood to understand that baseless allegations wouldn't just be challenged, they would be obliterated. The move also doubled as a psychological strike. By targeting both Blake and Ryan together, Fredman amplified the pressure, threatening not only their finances and reputations, but also their very standing in Hollywood. Insiders noted that the filing alone was enough to spook studios into hitting pause on projects and quietly reassessing contracts. This was no longer a personal dispute. Fredman had elevated the conflict into full-blown corporate warfare, where careers, brands, and public perception were on the line. Every court filing, every leaked memo, every press statement was executed with surgical precision, bolstering Baldoni's position while simultaneously dismantling the credibility of Blake and Ryan. Hollywood had rarely seen such a ruthless, coordinated legal offensive, and the shockwaves were only beginning. Behind the scenes, Fredman alleged that Blake's team had coordinated with media outlets to smear Baldoni during the press tour for It Ends With Us. He made it clear, no one involved in attacking his client would walk away unscathed. The pressure escalated when Blake tried to outmaneuver him in court. In February, she made what many observers saw as a desperate request, asking the judge to let her choose who would conduct her deposition. Her reasoning was simple. She didn't want Brian Fredman anywhere near her. The court rejected the plea outright, with the judge delivering a brutal reminder that A-list privileges do not apply in this courtroom. The implications were immediate. A once-beloved power couple now faced the full force of a courtroom assassin, and the fallout was only beginning. Blake and Ryan were staring down more than a lawsuit. They were staring at an existential threat to their careers. Fredman, famous for his ruthless tactics, made it abundantly clear he intended to sue Blake into oblivion. And there was no indication he was bluffing. The legal filings painted a damning picture. They alleged that Blake had deliberately manipulated public perception, casting herself as a victim while secretly orchestrating moves to discredit Baldoni. For Blake and Ryan, this wasn't just a legal dispute. It was a direct assault on their reputations, their brands, and the very stability of their Hollywood image. Fredman's offensive went far beyond the couple. He trained his sights on anyone spreading what he called false narratives. Even the New York Times came under fire after publishing an article based on Blake's claims. Fredman hit back with legal action, accusing the outlet of relying on self-serving statements and misrepresenting facts. Reports suggested that even Blake's publicist faced scrutiny over alleged coordination with the press, industry. Insiders say the courtroom ruling denying Blake her request to control her deposition was the clearest sign yet of how rattled she had become under Fredman's relentless pressure. Every filing, every leak, every countermeasure seemed to tighten the noose. Blake and Ryan's once bulletproof PR machine was suddenly outmatched, leaving them scrambling for control of a narrative that had spun beyond their grasp. What had started as a defense quickly revealed itself as a calculated offensive. Fredman's strategy wasn't simply to protect Baldoni, it was to systematically dismantle Blake and Ryan's public image while positioning Baldoni as the wronged party. To fans, their fall from grace was almost unthinkable. Blake and Ryan had long been admired as Hollywood royalty, their charm and wit making them untouchable. But the $400 million lawsuit shattered that illusion. The damage went far beyond court filings, seeping into endorsements, partnerships, and public perception. Reports confirmed the financial consequences. Target pulled Blake's hair care line from shelves after sales collapsed, with consumers returning products en masse, evidence of just how fast public trust had eroded. Consumers allegedly returned products en masse after losing faith in Blake Lively's once wholesome image. Ryan Reynolds hasn't fared much better, with rumors spreading that Marvel Studios has quietly cut him from future projects. An unthinkable downfall for an actor long considered untouchable. Meanwhile, Brian Fredman's legal strategy has dominated online conversation. Social media erupted as fans dissected his aggressive maneuvers, many praising him for exposing what they saw as manipulative behavior by Blake and Ryan. One viral comment summed it up. Brian doesn't lose. They got greedy and tried to exploit an artist who helps the deaf and disabled. Another user echoed the sentiment. This lawyer doesn't mess around. He comes with facts. The fascination isn't just about the lawsuit, it's about Fredman himself, and the precision with which he dismantled one of Hollywood's most admired couples. Known as a legal powerhouse, Fredman's reputation is built on his no-holds-barred approach and meticulous courtroom strategy. His client list includes some of the biggest